All right, so when you guys are looking back at the Texas State game, kind of a slower start by the defense before you guys picked up early in the second half. When you guys kind of look back, what were some of the kind of factors maybe that led to kind of that slow start?
Yeah, I think Texas State came out. They were ready to play, but on the defensive side of the ball, we really were beating ourselves. That first half, it was however many MAs that we had, missed tackles, missed cup. The little details, really was beating us. In that second half, we really came out as a defense collectively. We played together, tackled well, ran to the ball, effort was higher. That's when you saw, the defense that we really are come out.
Xavier, after the game, mentioned that it wasn't like a change in scheme, but a change in ourselves in terms of just, kind of the defensive leaders kind of rallying and kind of the rest of the guys kind of following your example. From as one of the team leaders, what was that like, just, getting that message across and obviously seeing the results?
I think we did a good job, especially on the defensive side, keeping our composure, staying calm, down 2 scores. Still a lot of things left. A lot of things could have happened in that game, but I thought defensively we did a great job, and that's part of our jobs as the leaders, keep the defense together.
Well, was the short week a factor at all, maybe even just from a physical perspective, or just like kind of, obviously just simply not enough as much time as usual to prepare?
Yeah, I think preparing, but, the coaches did a good job, as much time as we had, get our bodies back, give us all the details that we need to know. Obviously it would have been a much cleaner game if we would have had a full week, but it is what it is, came out with a win, so that's all that matters.
You're getting a big win in a state like Texas, where obviously this program has put so much emphasis. And heading back there again this Saturday, what do you think it means if you guys are able to get the Texas sweep?
I think it's huge. It's good for the recruiting, but also the people that live there, coming here. I'm sure they have friends that play with those teams, so they get bragging rights.
Getting Jordan Crook back this week, it looks like. What is he going to be adding to that linebacker mix?
He's a big juice guy. He does the job. He plays hard. That's going to be great for the linebackers. We've really only been playing with 3, so add another one, that's less reps on all of us.
Now that you have a few games, with that green dot and kind of the communication system on your belt, is it getting a little easier, or is it still kind of more of still an adjustment in progress?
Yeah, definitely. I've adapted to it well. I'm pretty comfortable with it. I think it's a very key piece to our defense. Helps us out a lot. Gets us all ready to go.
How much did the adversity against Mississippi State and just having to fend off their rally, maybe kind of learn those lessons, as Kenny called it, being able to counterpunch? How much did that impact kind of what you guys were able to do against Texas State?
Yeah, I think both. We came out hot versus Mississippi State, and then that second half kind of got comfortable. That's when you've seen the missed tackles, missed cups, and missed assignments. That's kind of how we started the game versus Texas State. I look back watching the defensive film. There's not any plays or schemes that like, man, that really beats this call, that we were in a bad call. It's really just, guys not doing their job, and it falls back on me. I got to get the defensive line, whether we're playing a tempo team or not.
And you're playing a Texas Tech team that just put up 66 a week ago. And what are some of the things that kind of jump out about what they like to do?
Yeah, they do a lot of stuff, a lot of motions, a lot of things on offense, but on the defensive side, we got to do a good job, communicating and doing our job.
You're playing in a hostile atmosphere. What kind of things are you expecting out there in Lubbock in terms of the crowd, the atmosphere, and things working against you?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be hostile. I think it'll fire the guys up. We'll be ready to play,
Any special significance, Keyshaun, about playing the first ever Big 12 game in Arizona State history?
Yeah, I would say bring up the intensity a little bit. We're part of history, ASU's first ever Big 12 game.
What are the main challenges their offense will pose for you guys on Saturday?
They'll move around, motions, they run a lot of stuff offensively, but it's nothing that we haven't seen. We got to play a full game, full 4-quarter game.
Yeah, and that's what you've done these last couple of games, winning in different ways. Can you talk about the resilience you guys showed at Texas State last week?
Yeah, I think we found a way to get out of there with a win, even if it wasn't pretty. Defensively, we went over our, keys to victory. In the first half, we didn't accomplish any of those. But, if you look at the second half, we accomplished most of them, and that was the change of the game. Defense finally coming together. Backing up the offense. The offense played much better in the second half. We came together as a team.
And in particular, the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Were the keys of the defense in the fourth quarter? You really locked them down.
Yeah. We kept our composure, like I said. I thought we played as a defense, and offense did their job, especially that clock management. That was huge. Keep us off the field in a situation like that. Offense that can really spread you out and spread the ball around.
Mm-hmm. What does it mean to have a guy like Shamari on the back end making plays all over the field like he's doing?
Huge. It's nice to have Shamari. You've seen the plays that he's making, but it all comes from the work that he's doing out here in practice. He's a guy that's working outworking most people. He's doing his job most of the time. And I was talking to him after practice, and we were telling each other how much we appreciate each other. But that just goes to show the work that he's put in. And he's a veteran. I trust him, and I know he trusts me.
Where does this team get the resilience, do you think, to do the thing? Like you were able to hold on 2 weeks ago against Mississippi State when they were coming back, and last week you rallied as a team.
Yeah, I think what we did in the offseason, the coaches and strength staff, put us in situations that were uncomfortable, kind of build for moments like that, and you really see it come to play here in the season.
I've heard several guys say practices are so tough, the games are almost fun. Is that really the way it is?
Yeah, definitely. Practice, we're going. It's our player load, our catapults are always higher than what we do in a game. It's, coaches do it on purpose to make sure the game days are easier. And, last week, that wasn't the case, and you can say whatever it is, but we didn't have our bodies, and as a player, I can say that's when, tackles were missed, players stopped doing their job. But the coaches, making this practice harder, putting us in situations that are uncomfortable before the game, it creates a cleaner game.